right, thanks again on this week's edition of the PPIM 23 ARC, where we talk to different technology providers. We're talking to Mr. Thomas Beuker from ROSEN. So we cover some great stuff. In addition to EMAT, we talk about the zombie apocalypse and his love of artwork, if you've ever seen the background in Chris's office on a meeting with him. So we hope you enjoy this episode. It's a lot to do with EMAT and a lot to do with technology. Thank you. All right, we are at PPIM 23. I'm sorry. Yep, there we go, Pipeline. You want some of that action too? Look at it.
No, we do this, Thomas.
Yeah. This is a really awkward intro. So we are trying something. We normally don't shoot our segue with a guest, but I felt like this time we need to. So neither one, the guest nor my co-host.
No idea
Welcome to Pipeline Things. I'm your host, Rhett Dotson. My co-host, Mr. Christopher De Leon, and our guest, Mr. Thomas Beuker from ROSEN, have no idea how I'm about to open the show. And it's, go this way, some people don't know this about you. You're a bit of an artist on the side, from what I understand.
Oh yeah, I'm an artist.
Yes, and so there's a very famous drawing in the background of Christopher's house. And
of my office. That's officially my office.
All of our clients ask about this drawing. And so I just want to say, if you're one of our clients, if you actually just want to have a meeting with us to see what I'm talking about, you'll know very quick. This drawing, we've asked people to define it. People say it's a child's drawing, but they just don't understand true art.
No, it's a nightmare from Christopher.
All right, we need to hear, will you explain your side of the drawing?
Yeah,
how it happened?
Yes, how it happened. He gives his own story, so now I want to know what yours is.
He was getting very excited about a certain topic. He may talk to it, but he went very excited, and so I tried to calm him down, visualize what he was thinking, and that's what this was.
I'll give the story. It's short. So we're in a meeting, and Thomas, if you've ever worked with Thomas, he's brilliant, right? Great, creative, artistic, just phenomenal. And so we're in this meeting, and I say, customer feedback. Dave Chittick, formerly TC Energy, still does work there, says, guys, we got to be careful because the best analogy I could think of is zombies on the horizon. Yeah, he goes, they're coming.
Nightmare.
They're coming. It's slow enough to where you can prepare. Are you preparing? And so we're in a meeting, and I strategize it, and I'm like, hey, we got Dave Chittick said this, and meanwhile, Thomas is in deep thought. I mean, he's sitting there taking all, and I'm like, oh man, Thomas gets this.
He was an artist at work.
Yeah, he turns this thing around, and it's a zombie. Well, one of them's missing a leg. I said, Thomas, I'm framing that.
Yeah.
And now it's.
And he did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And now you guys can see it.
So do you do that freelance on the side? Can you do another one? When we're done with this show, will you give an artist rendering of what happened on this show?
Sure, yeah, why
see.
not? Yeah.
It was like it's one of those moments of genius, right? Where spur of the moment, it just happens.
Yeah. So did that segue work for you?
That was phenomenal.
All right. See, sometimes as a host, I kind of know what I'm doing. So here at every now and then I have a good idea. Most of the really good ones come from you. But what do you think, second string Sarah? Did that work? It was good. All right. So our backup producer.
She's doing great.
She's doing great.
She's fantastic.
And you're going to bring it out on every episode how fantastic that you were doing. At PPIM here, Thomas, one of the things that we're doing is we're doing a series all with guests. So every episode in this arc is going to have a guest.
Yeah.
And it's targeting primarily technology vendors. And Christopher and I chose vendors that we get asked about a lot. So as independent consultants out there, people always come to us wanting to know our opinion about X or Y or Z. And I would say by far and away, when we get asked about crack inspection and natural gas pipelines, when we get asked about EMAT, it's generally with ROSEN's name attached on the back. And you guys are the market leader in that aspect. People, when they think EMAT, largely think ROSEN. So really it speaks to ROSEN's capacity and presence in the market and the depth of the technology y'all have developed. So great job. And that's why we brought you on today. So we want to hear a little bit about EMAT. But before we do that, if you don't mind, I'd like you to introduce yourself to our audience, Mr. Thomas Beuker. What's your role at ROSEN? What do you do? Who are you? When you're not an artist, what do you do?
I'm with ROSEN, working there for the last 30 plus years already.
So you can't join YPP is what you're saying?
No, No.
Are you going to use that joke?
Depending on
dude, Richard did great
depending
with it,
on
so
when I
I'm
was
gonna keep
born, I
using
think,
it.
right? So, and I'm responsible for the group side of the track management.
Yep.
So, meaning everything in the company with what has to do with track inspection. I like track inspection will somewhat land on my table.
And EMAT falls in that, obviously.
EMAT falls in that.
But you've been doing EMAT for a while, Thomas.
I'm doing it since almost 25 years now. Yeah.
25 years you've been doing EMAT.
Yeah,
So you must have been on the ground floor of the development at ROSEN.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. We anecdotically, it was a company in California who actually had a prototype EMAT tool.
Yeah.
And they did a robotic inspection for an operator in California, and they were interested, so we kind of
made some magic.
Yeah, we met a couple of times, and then we kind of moved it on from there. Yeah.
So look, in our relationship, we don't know which one chose the other. If Chris chose me or I chose him. Did you choose EMAT or did EMAT choose you?
That's a good question, actually. I think it's like a marriage.
You're bound to EMAT now? Your fates are tied together as one?
Every so often we are cooking together.
Do you get in fights?
In fights?
With EMAT, yes.
Oh.
And who usually says sorry?
Yeah.
Who what?
And who usually has to say sorry?
Yeah.
I always have to say sorry.
Oh, yeah. Well, as a golden rule, in the evening, if you go to bed, you're friends again, right?
You're just like Miss Producer. Second Swing Strata is like, where are y'all going with this? I have no idea.
It's lovely.
I love it.
It's fantastic.
Thomas, so I want to jump into make good use of our time. So as the market leader in EMAT, can you share a little bit about this? What's coming down the road for the technology? What do you guys see? I mean, 192. So the updates were pretty expensive
for gas.
On gas related to cracks. What's on the horizon?
Well, let me start a bit on the pipeline side. Yeah. So your question is going more in the market direction than in the technical direction.
Yeah.
And if we look at pipelines in general, and we see this even on this conference, and in Europe even more. The new emerging fuels are getting more and more important, right? Yeah. And I think EMAT is playing an important role there. Yeah. The focus, or the two main aspects I would like to emphasize. Yeah. One is the high density of the data customer actually asking for. More data, higher sampling rates, higher accuracy as well. But on the other hand, it's also the structure. It is reliable data. It is reliable information which has to be taken out of this data. And if you look at standards like API 1163 or 76, you have both aspects, the verification side as well as the process side in 1176. So I think that's kind of where the market is going, asking more from the inspection technology on one side.
And it being maybe a little bit more standardized with regulations and standards and recommended practices. That's kind of like maybe molding maybe the service a bit, or?
Well, I think it's more the procedural part, that you have a process in place, that you that it's repeatable what you're doing. And this repeatability, this reliability, I think that's that will be the element which is actually required from the market and is something we need to drive as a company.
So I want to throw back at you what I'm hearing to make sure I'm hearing it right. This goes to both of you. Kind of what I'm hearing is you want to move from like a bespoke, unique analysis every time to this is something that's standardized. It's like I don't say like MFL. I mean, MFL is well understood. It's mature. Operators have processes for running it. They expect certain things from the data. When they go in the ditch, they know what they're looking at. And you're saying EMAT get there. EMAT's going to be, but I don't want to liken it to MFL because that's problems, right? But that's where you see in the future.
Well, I would not say standardized, because you still need to be flexible. Pipelines are different, So, and you need to be able to address the different aspects of a pipeline, but you need to have a transparent process, which is where you can actually follow up what has been done, right? So, I mean the Inga JIP is a very good example. I think
knowledge transfer.
Yeah, and it's knowledge transfer on one side, but it's also guiding people through the different steps you have to do, right? And it's on both sides. It's on our side, it's on the operator side, it's maybe as well on the regulator side.
That's a really good point. What it makes me think of, Thomas, and I like where you're taking this, is it's, if we were to liken it to MFL as a solution, we could say, MFL is a well understood process, right? Cradle to grave, market knows how to use it, right? You know who to approach, you know what you're expecting, there's lessons learned already, they're well understood. When you think of EMAT, up until, again, the latest, revisions to the gas regulation, is you had to get a special permit to use EMAT as an integrity assessment.
Now you're helping me understand.
You get what I'm saying?
I got you.
And so if you think about a system that has momentum, the operators, now there's this exposure to EMAT where, I think you hit it on the head, where there is that guidance where EMAT is now becoming more extroverted maybe in its process management, where we can lean on things like 1163 or API 1176.
Or the Inga, the JIP.
Or the JIP.
That's really what kind of helped me bring it around. So for the audience out there, I think I was the slow one on the right there, because I was trying to figure out, I was like, where's he going? Now it makes sense. And I don't like the comparison with MFL, because I think we see problems from people actually comparing MFL to EMAT or trying to use EMAT like MFL.
You cannot have the same, the processes are similar, but there's way more structure to it and way more detail.
But I like what you, when you look at what's happening with the Inga EMAT Users Guide, you see that kind of becoming, that knowledge transfer, making it easier for users to begin to pick up EMAT and use it, and that is novel. And then also its application to other, you said other fuels, and that sparked a different thing. Because can I ask, are you thinking hydrogen is the place for it?
So if you look, that's more from the market side again, and looking farther ahead in a way, right? So, and without being an expert or a wizard for the future, but we in a way, pipelines will be there. I would not say forever, as long as possible, right? But our customers need to adapt. The customers who need support in pipeline integrity, they have to adapt. So they are now using, or they will have these emerging fuels, which is whether it's green, brown, or gray. Hydrogen, ammonium, CO2. So you have all these mediums, and that's different from the process side. That is where you need to adapt to improve the technology, change the technology, or change the way you are dealing with an ILI system in a way, right?
In its environment and how it acquires data and all that. I want to maybe go a little bit on a tangent, because again, I was thinking about, you've been doing this for 30 plus years, and maybe not everybody fully appreciates the journey of EMAT. So just briefly, about when did ROSEN begin EMAT? What was that time frame again, where y'all put it on an ILI tool and started doing projects, roughly?
Yeah, the first runs we did was actually in the Netherlands.
Oh, the Dutch. Y'all went Dutch.
Yeah, it was a short test line. It was 2006.
Okay.
Wow.
And in 2000.
So do the math. How many years is that?
16.
Wow.
17, because we're in 23. Sorry.
See how quick he was at that? That was brilliant. That's a long time.
I'm only good at one thing, and apparently it's math.
Yeah. So
can you do the multiplication also.
No, we got to stop there. You know what? This is getting out of hand. This is actually a good time for us to take a break. Yeah.
The third root of 8.
You said you were nervous about coming on the show. I don't think he's nervous anymore.
not.
He's fully adapted. No, he is going. But this means we absolutely need to take a break. Plus, we had Dr. Keith Lavis in the background shooting me hand signals. It's getting distracting. We'll be right back. I want to dive in more to where EMAT's going, and we'll be right back. We'll hear a word from Mr. BJ Lowe and Ben Strawman, our sponsors at PPIM 23.
BJ Lowe here, Clarion Technical Conferences, and if it's February, it must be PPIM. We're here, that's right, for the 35th time in Houston, Texas, starting in 1989, and here we are in 2023 with another record-breaking turnout for the world's largest pipeline technology-related event. We've got almost 3,500 people coming for 4 or 5 days, almost 200 companies exhibiting on the trade show floor, another sellout. It's not too early to begin thinking about 2024. We sell out around June or July, so clarion.org is where you go to sign up, and we hope you can join us for the next conference if you're not here this year. Another big part of the conference is our training and education program, which takes place on the Monday and Tuesday of the week. And this year we have 8 really great courses, world-class instructors, and almost 300 people showing up for these specialized courses on different aspects of pipeline integrity technology. I'm here with Ben Strawman, a colleague at Clarion. Hey Ben, what's up?
Hey, doing good. Always happy to be here because it's, as we say, it's PPIM season. It's February. So I would like to remind everybody that we also have a very specialized technical conference that's associated with PPIM. And this year I'm proud to say that we have the largest conference program that we've ever had. It has 94 technical papers that were chosen from a large selection of submissions that were very high quality. So we're very pleased to be putting on these 94 papers during the week. I'd also like to mention that we do have online training if you aren't able to make it to PPIM each year. We present online training throughout the year. You can check more of that out at clarion.org. And we hope to see you in one way or another, online or in person. And if you're not here at the 35th version of PPIM, I hope you're here at the 36th.
Definitely.
All right, we're back here with Mr. Thomas Beuker from ROSEN talking about EMAT, and it's really great. So you took us through kind of, I don't think a lot of people appreciate, the very earliest runs were in 2006. You guys have had a lot of experience with EMAT, seen a lot of developments. You're only like what, is it Gen 3 or Gen 4? What are we at now?
Yeah, it is. It's
always improved.
If you would count it like that, it's Gen 3.
Gen 3, okay. So what's new? What's coming on the horizon for EMAT? You guys see in the next couple of years? What do you see as a game changer being?
Yeah, I think there are two things. One is on the hardware side. I come to that later. The other thing is very much addressing what we have talked before. Yeah? The process side, the reliability side, repeatability, and that is something which you cannot achieve with the hardware on its own. So you need to look at the analysis process, the data evaluation process, and there is this term of saying turn data into information, right? And that is exactly happening there. And what we found now, and that is where we from ROSEN actually put a kind of a separate department on the road. We're looking at artificial intelligence, and it's not that we now starting with this. We were doing this for the last, I would say, 8 years or so. Machine learning, calibration algorithms, and so on. But what we are now looking into is not into algorithm. It's more looking at an artificial intelligence as a colleague. Yeah? So you have somebody sitting beside you. The analyst now gets help. Has somebody beside her or him. Never gets tired. Do what she or he is.
This sounds a lot like you. This sounds
what I was going to ask is, do you need a cardboard cutout with a voice? Like, do you need a voice like Siri?
Like this one here?
Yes, you can grab that, and that will be.
Oh yeah, we're doing it.
There you go.
Can we get some assistance?
Look at Dr. Keith.
See, this is not AI. This is RI.
We have gone off track. I love this, and thanks to Dr. Levis for the assistance there. It's like we've got second string Sarah, and now we've got off the bench support,
And then RI.
and RI. So this is your artificial
tires.
intelligence colleague, never tired,
Always
speaks
smiling.
the whole time, always smiling. You think you can get it on the plane?
Oh.
If you can get it on the plane back to Germany,
I
I
will
can
fold
send
it.
it with
I will
you.
fold it.
We'll buy the
So-
ticket.
So I like what you said about the artificial intelligence, because those have been buzzwords,
Yeah.
and a lot of times when people say machine learning,
Yeah.
AI, they're buzzwords that, to be honest, I almost
They don't
immediately
always
shut down.
understand it.
No.
So what's the purpose is almost one of the things I want to ask,
But
right?
well, he said it, and I want to hone in on that, because a lot of people view it as a replacement.
Yeah.
Right, like the big buzz right now is using ChatGPT to write your essay rather than you doing it yourself.
yeah.
But you're not describing that. You're describing it as an assistance, and I actually think that's kind of unique, and I think it's a very healthy way to look at using AI. I'd say it's maybe the appropriate way.
And there's
to
also
using AI.
there's also the aspect with it that you need to train the AI. That means the AI is never getting better than the analysts, right? And but what you can do, you can grab all the experience, from an entire group and put it in that person helping you. You can make the decision as an analyst, saying, okay, this is too difficult for my colleague here. I'm doing it by myself. But you can also delegate, and you need to. So you need to develop some management skills, and makes obviously also the job much more interesting, right?
That's so clever.
And I'm just saying that assistant could have a voice and a personality that could speak
Absolutely.
up. Like the little paperclip that used to be on Microsoft
I'm not sure about
Office?
the personality. But
It pops up on the screen with the analyst and says, Rhett says you should classify this feature as, you don't have to give it Rhett. Just think about it.
So
Run it by Rhonda. Think about it. I think it's got potential.
okay.
So quality control, it goes back to just data reliability. I think that brings us home. So that was software. Talk to us a little about hardware.
Wait, are we at 20 minutes, second string, Sarah? We're almost at 20 minutes. I need to know if we have to take a hard break right at 20 minutes.
Are these
and
not
stop.
allowed to be more than 20 minutes?
I don't know. Somebody told me 20 minutes or bust. I say let's keep going.
That's customer feedback. We need to consider it.
We can
Thomas,
cut
we'd
out
like to
every
say
second
thank you
word.
for your time on the show. No, I'm just joking. Let's keep going.
So that software, I think that's brilliant. What about hardware?
Yeah, hardware. That, I mean, from a market point of view, we discussed it. Yeah, there is also a need to move on or to further evolve on the hardware side. What we currently are working on, it's not ready yet. It's in the make. Is a EMAT technology with higher resolution. Redundancy. Yeah, so that first run success is a big topic. So that would address
Sensor
this
redundancies for sensor loss,
exactly,
for example.
Yeah. And then also a clockwise, counterclockwise ability, so that you have a full coverage of seeing features from two sides.
So this hardware development is going to be like this isn't like adapting your current tool fleet. Sounds like a new build. This will be
new tool fleet.
Yeah, but that's ROSEN DNA, right? I mean, ROSEN's known for always building new things, developing new technologies, and it's kind of neat. I mean, personally for me, obviously all of you guys know the history we have with ROSEN is it's really neat because you guys are leaders in developing ILI technology, and most people will see that manifest itself as a tool. Right, and so you highlighting this, it's a tool and the software, and how you guys are advancing on the software. Yep. We saw some things earlier. I mean, we're here at PPIM about like the data warehouse and all that fun stuff, which provides data and all that fun stuff. So it's neat to see what you guys are doing.
Right, but what I was getting at with that is so like the AI improvements and the Rhett voiceover that's going to come down the line, that will be applicable to all assessments independent of diameter, because you can be able to utilize that. But when you talk about the hardware component, that's something that's going to be a longer lead time, because you're going to be building. So I assume we're going to be seeing this development take place over the span of years. We're going to see, I guess, Gen 4 or Ultra or whatever it is you're going to call it coming out over the next several years. Yeah. So
cool.
That's fantastic. All right.
Anything else?
Yeah. What else?
What else
is
are
on
you
your
guys
mind?
working on? What are y'all doing?
Well,
get in trouble a little bit. Get in trouble a little bit, Thomas. Get in trouble a little bit.
Rhonda just went that way. You're good.
We just saw Rhonda get over there. She went after somebody.
Wait,
what else
can we
we
get
have?
into the ROSEN party?
Oh.
Will you let
me see.
Oh!
Oh, you're about to get in trouble.
You need to ask Rhonda.
We know who controls the keys.
Yeah, we know.
Shoot.
No, but what else
What
on
else
your
are you
mind?
guys cooking?
What else is cooking? We can blow up the balloon, let's say, a little bit bigger, right? And
We
if
blow
look
up
at-
balloons in the U.S.
Yeah.
Just
Oh my gosh, are you talking about
exactly.
oh gosh, that's a current event reference. That was well done.
Oh yeah, needs to be clipped out. But if we look at if we look at the crack inspection side on as a specific element of a pipeline integrity, you can also leverage from other data, like for example material data, like for example inspection data from a geometry tool, a corrosion tool, and this is the POI, probability of the identification, for example, on the crack side is improved from all these other data.
Data
and that is
integrating
and
data
that is
sets.
something, and that is integrating data sets is also an element where
You
we
guys
as
are
a company
building on.
are focusing
Yeah,
on.
because you guys have the ROMAT technology.
Yeah.
The PGS, for example.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's clever.
Yes. And the latest development we are doing will also address axial strain based on ILI data. So that will be on the horizon as well. Right?
There's a reason why you're the 900-pound gorilla in the room, Thomas.
So on that note, I want to say, Thomas, thanks for joining us. It was fun. See, it wasn't near as difficult as you thought it would be. It was easy.
It's great.
And I
We
look forward
appreciate
to
you
that
coming
otter
on.
rendering. So I want to say
we can have a. I invite you on my show, and it's on German.
That would be good.
fair point. All
Das
right.
kann nicht sein.
So I'm your host, Rhett Dotson, Christopher DeLeon, our guest, Mr. Thomas Beuker, and our new AI, RI, are signing off. Thank you so much for joining us at PPM 23. We'll be back in another 2 weeks. Thanks.